Hello, viewers around the world. My name is Mark Godwin, and I'm sitting in for the ladies that we call Real Talk ladies. Wherever you may be, you're welcome to our weekly edition of the Real Talk relationship. And today again, we're looking into the relationship issues, distant relationship. So joining me in the studio, it's supposed to be a female program mixed with the ladies, but it's the men today. So maybe it's the men that should be talking. Joining me all the way from Toronto, Canada, is George Chukwu. George, it is with the man that is doing the real talk today. You're welcome.
Thank you so very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. We're still looking at that issue we started last week, and that's the long distance relationship. A situation where two people are in a relationship and one person they are staying far apart from each other. And today we're looking at how to sustain that, how to keep that relationship going, how to sustain it, and keep it alive, even though they are worlds apart. So sustenance is the key. George, let me say that I have been in a lot of such situation, and it's not too comfortable to be in. It's not too pleasant. You find yourself and the other better half is far away from you. Sometimes some reality checks in. You have to do your cooking, your laundry, those things that other half does for you. You find yourself doing everything, and also you have to keep on the relationship. So we're looking at that, George, the sustenance, how to keep it going, how to still have that cordial, beautiful love relationship, whatever it may be, friendship or whatever. And George, it could just be friendship too. It might not only be in a man-woman thing. There are best friends that find themselves also caught up in that kind of situation. So that's what we're looking at, sustenance. It looks like our ladies are joining us. And yes, here we have with us Ambassador Anita Shimfe Nati. Anita, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Feels so good to be back on the show.
It's good to be back on the show. I had to take your spot for 5 minutes. And George was also there.
I was battling with network to connect and stuff.
Well, welcome, Anita.
And we were talking on the sustenance in distance relationships. And it's all your initiative, Anita. I must say this. You initiated this topic. So maybe you can take it from there. Right.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk, where we talk relationship goals. And of course, we talk about solutions, everything surrounding relationship. That's what we talk about on the show. And we have amazing personalities right here, doing justice to every topic. We look forward to all the ladies joining. But of course, joining us from Toronto is none other than the amazing Sir Godwin Kechukwu. I can't remember his name now. Yeah. We appreciate you, sir, for joining.
Yes.
George Chukwu, yes. George Chukwu, we appreciate you for joining. And of course, from Milan, we also have the amazing producer of this show, a phenomenal Mark We call him Massive Mark, okay, legend Massive Mark. And today we'll be talking intensively about how to sustain long-term relationship, okay, distance relationship. How can you survive when you are in a distance relationship? This time around, we're taking it away from you're just meeting this person, you're not sure if you have a future. We are looking at the fact that you have a future with this person, but you live in another town and he lives in another town, maybe due to your work or due to one thing or the other. How can you still make things happen in that relationship? So that's what we're going to be talking intensively. So feel free to share your thoughts. We'll definitely read it out. So I'm going to start with Massive Mark. When it comes to sustaining distance relationship, we'd like to hear your thoughts concerning that. What are some of the things we need to do to put in place to be able to survive long time relationship or long distance relationship?
Thank you very much. You're welcome, Anita. Before you came in, George and I were also saying something, and I said I'll be speaking from the heart now, because I've been part of this. Now, first of all, it's not a very pleasant experience at that initial stage. The reality of when you're used to staying together, there are things each person does for the other, like the laundry, like your cooking, like your tidying up the house, So now when there is that separation, you find yourself probably going to do all this all on your own. On the woman's side, it could be that the man helps with the ironing of dresses, with the, um, I mean, what couples do, friends do in relationships. So now you find yourself all on your own, and you have to do all of these things. But you need to really keep that relationship going. So I am looking at number one thing I want to say is technology becomes our best friend in long distance relationship, because that's all we have: devices, gadgets, phones. That's all we have. So we really make sure we have a good one too, so we can have those FaceTime conversation, real
Mm-hmm.
time, updating, back and forth talking. The Europeans actually say it's accepted to have what they call sexting. You know, now there are pitfalls for that. It's not too safe in most cases, because hackers could come in, take
Yeah.
pictures, could leak out. Yes, a lot of people have complained of their videos and all that leaking out, and probably this was videos and pictures they took when they were with their friend, their lovers, and everything, and somehow it snapped out. So, but anyway, technology is a good device at that point in time. The phone, that gadget, the iPhone, and everything. Then number two, I would say, so George can also come in, is that truthful commitment to the relationship. We've had cases where immediately two people go apart, like we said last time. You find strangely, some of the other half could get into another relationship in that new location, you know. So there's no commitment. That's what it means. It's not. It wasn't built
Okay.
on. Yes, yes.
Right.
Go ahead. Go
Thank
ahead.
you so much. I appreciate that. So basically, what Massive Mark is saying is the fact that communication is important, and of course,
Mhm.
make use of technology. Technology has made it so easy. We have different apps where you can FaceTime, you can talk to your spouse. But I see BD. BD, so good to have you join us on today's show. Hello, BD.
Thank you, dear. Good
Happy
afternoon.
birthday. Check my
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
We can hear you.
okay.
Thank you, my
Happy
dear.
belated
Thank you so
birthday to
much.
you. You're welcome. Congratulations on the launch of your book as well. You're doing
I
big
can
things.
hear you.
Yes.
Okay. I guess we are having issues. Let me just
Thank you, my
get
love.
to
I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
all the way from Bruno. Sir George, you mentioned that
I don't know what is
communication is
with
key. Okay, BD, hold on. I will definitely come to you. Okay, so Sir Judge, can you hear me, Sir Judge?
I can hear
Yes.
you clearly.
Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to sustaining, have you been in a long distance relationship before? And if you have, how were you able to sustain it? Because we're talking about sustaining today. Yeah, we understand that most time when you talk about long distance relationship, people talk about, oh, he's gonna cheat, she's gonna cheat, they're not gonna be faithful to one another. But we're looking at the space where you two are well connected, but maybe because of maybe transfer on your job or something happened, or you got a new opportunity that had to take you away from your spouse. How do you sustain such a relationship in the midst of all the distance coming in between, basically?
Well, number one thing is communication, like we said before, and communication is what builds trust. Trust is earned, trust is not given. Trust is earned. So, in essence, really, if the relationship is already built on a solid foundation, you two are already one with one another, understanding each other before such situation occurs. One partner leaves either for studies or maybe for opportunity or job transfer or whatever the case might be that is bringing about the long distance relationship coming into the relationship. Now, what it is that two people that trust one another and truly love one another, can maintain a relationship because they have a foundation that they are building upon. Now, if it is a new relationship whereby these two people have not actually been well acquainted, maybe they are still in the acquaintance stage, just like what we see these days, dating apps, or maybe an introduction from a friend. I'm in Canada or I'm in US and the person is in Nigeria or Zimbabwe or whatever the case might be. Now you have to nurture that relationship. So now you're beginning from that acquaintance stage to getting to know one another, meeting of the minds. And then, communication is the key. Now, through that communication, trust can be built. And you see that a lot happening with a lot of relationship whereby, an individual is, just trying to establish a relationship with somebody, but the timing is quite different. Like, say, for instance, there's a time difference between Canada and Nigeria, 6 hours difference. So when that is the case, and the person goes to work and this other person is asleep and they call, she's tired, she cannot talk, or, when she's ready to talk, you are asleep, or whatever the case might be. These are the little, hindrances that can actually hinder. But when both of you can come into a common level of understanding with your timing, then you can be able to find the adequate times when you can communicate. Now, the problem we have is a lot of times, when two people, if it is a physical relationship, whereby you are attracted to one another, and both of you are bonding. So the question is, what do you do in such a situation? This is where Massive Mark was introducing technology, where both of you can FaceTime with each other, do a whole lot of other things, which I am not at liberty to mention here. Is between two mature, consenting adults. So both of you can do that, but the danger there also, like he said, is what if it leaks out? Or what if, tomorrow now, both of you break up and one person decides to hijack the whole thing and want to blackmail the other one, because what you're doing is somebody can be recording what you guys are, what both of you are doing. So these are the little hindrances. But one major thing in sustaining a long distance relationship is communication, whereby trust can be built between you two. And remember, it takes time to really trust one another. Trust is not something, it's an action thing. Consistent action from one another can bring about trust. I tell you, I'm going to call you by 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, I'm calling you. I tell you, I'm going to call you by 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, I'm calling you. I said, okay, tomorrow, let's discuss around 3 p.m. 3 p.m., I'm calling you. Now, trust is being established. But when I tell you I'm going to call you by 12, you know, 1 hour later, you're still waiting, nothing. You call me, I didn't pick up. And then most of the time when both of you are talking, this other individual never wants to be at home when they are talking to you, that is a signal there. Or when you call them, anytime you call them, they will not answer. If they don't answer, then they would like to call you back. Or when they call you back, they're always whispering because they're not at work, they are home. So something, those are the little signals you can say, well, maybe I'm not quite sure that I trust this individual. But trust is something that is very, very important in any level of relationship.
Okay, that's a beautiful
Nice.
one. Thank you so much, Sir George. You've really spoken profoundly concerning this. I saw BD. Yeah, she's back. Okay, I guess it's the network kind of kicked her out. BD, we're talking how to sustain a long distance relationship. Okay, so basically, I would like you to talk about what you think, aside communication, what other ways can we sustain a long distance relationship, BD?
It's okay. You know, I think the first thing is communication. But because communication builds trust. Another way you
Okay.
can sustain a long distance relationship is by trusting each other. When you say white, let it remain white and let it sound to your partner, wherever that your partner is, that this is actually white. You say it is white and it is white. Trust. Trust sustain long distance relationship, because any long distance relationship does not that doesn't have trust will crash even before we know it. Trust is one other thing that will sustain a long distance relationship. You guys have to learn to trust each other. You know, we've seen in a situation whereby some people will say, she told me she's going this way, but she was not actually there, or he told me he was going to be there, but he was not there. I've had a situation when somebody was dating someone, when somebody was in a long distance relationship with someone, and the guy keep monitoring the lady's movements. Where are you? What are you doing now? Who are you with? Do you understand? And it all boils down to lack of trust, because he doesn't trust her. That is why he feel that the best thing he could do is to monitor every of her step. So for any
Mm.
long distance relationship to survive and for you to sustain it, you need trust. Trust is very, very important. Some people said,
Okay.
I don't know what they call it. Can you hear me? Some people
Okay.
say phone. Can you hear me? Can you still hear
I
me?
can hear you. Though you were a bit breaking, but it's fine. I can hear you.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
It's okay. Some
Hello,
Yes,
people
BD.
said
added
phone.
to. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Anita.
Some people
Okay.
said
Oh, I
some
guess
people
it's the
said
network.
phone intimacy.
You still talking? Okay,
Yes,
BD, thank you so much. So BD is still laying emphasis on the fact that communication is key, and that will help to build trust. And that's what basically Sir George said earlier. And I want to add to what he said concerning the fact that sometimes they call you, and BD mentioned that sometimes you're being monitored and all that. I feel when you're being monitored, that's a red flag. Okay, you should be able to say, you know what, I trust my man, he's at work, and you talk about your different schedules. At so time to so time, I'll be at work, I won't be close to my phone. Okay, before you even get to work, you should, update one another, so you understand, okay, he's at work, she's at work, this is the time, this is our free time, maybe lunch time or something. To find a way to just work things out by communicating. Video calls are there, you get to see the person. But when it's nighttime, this person is meant to be at home, and they are not giving you the same kind of energy you're putting out. Sometimes you're saying, oh, baby, I love you. And they're like, what did you say? Baby, I just said, I love you. then you have to think like what exactly is going on. So we're talking about how to sustain relationship. Massive Mark, what else do you think is needed for one to be able to sustain a long time or a distant relationship?
Yes, thank you very much, Anita. Anita, you said some good ones there. There are still more things to look into. One of it is the ability to voice out our insecurity in our relationship. If we're not sure of the other person in the other side, you could also voice it out. Your insecurity, your jealous feeling. Tell the person, listen, what are you doing there? I don't understand what is happening. Those could open up dialogue. Like George said, the more we communicate, the more we build that relationship. So voicing out our insecurity, how we feel at the moment when we call, or probably like you said, at certain time a call should be made and it wasn't made, or some promises that were made that was not fulfilled, then we voice it out. Also, I was in line with George too about setting rules and having boundaries too. Setting rules in that long distance relationship. For example, he talked about time zone, a different time zone. So this person should
Mm-hmm.
know this is how it is. So if you don't get me at this time, 12 o'clock your time, which might be midnight my time, then don't feel don't get so anxious. I mean, it's the time zone. I'm sleeping then, and you are probably just waking up. So knowing those time limits, boundaries, and putting out our insecurity, telling the other person how you feel about something matters. Also, this one is my way of making it look so good, and that is I want to say enjoy the moment apart. Enjoy the moment apart. We could you find out that we could grow and be very very matured in our relationship when we are apart. If we really take time to enjoy the moment, walk through the moment, you know, that could even make one of that person to become a counselor or a helper to younger people that find themselves in that position. So enjoy the moment. One shouldn't look at it as a punishment or a very terrible experience. That could be a building factor to your growth psychologically, emotionally, everything. Like I talked of uh, a man living with a wife that used to cook for him all time, and now he finds himself in another country, in another place, and he has to cook. So that could be a moment of him learning how to cook. So let's enjoy the moment and learn from the moment, build with the moment, and we don't know what will come out of it. Thank you.
I like, wow, that's really interesting. And to, portray what you just mentioned, when it comes to maybe the weekend days, you all are going to be home, do something special, even at your distant place. Because I've actually experienced long distance relationship. He was in another country, I was in Nigeria, and sometimes we just say, you know what, today we're going to make breakfast. Why I'm making breakfast is making his own breakfast. That way, you just keep communicating. It spices up the relationship. Okay, so that's just by the way. Sir George, what else can you add to one spicing up a long distance relationship to help sustain it and of course make it an enjoyable one at the end of the day?
Anticipation and appreciation. Anticipation comes from the fact that the absence of that individual physically can make you grow fonder because you are anticipating to see that person. You're hoping that one day you're preparing for that special moment when both of you will connect again physically. And it's going to be a volcanic eruption if both of you are looking into that and looking forward to one day meeting and being together physically again. That's what anticipation can build, that fondness where you are, you're just hoping and just anticipating for that day when that volcanic eruption with the physical presence will happen. Appreciation comes from the fact of what you're talking about. You appreciate the moments that you guys spend together, even
Absolutely.
being physically distant from one another. So you make it a special moment. You can actually have that anticipation. Oh, Saturday, we're going to cook breakfast together. I'm going to make it a little fun. Maybe this time, what you might have to do to make it even funner is, where both of you can just wear aprons alone. Nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just aprons. Okay? Nothing else. So now, he's cooking, you cooking. You wear an apron, but everything else is showing. So that's kind of anticipation can make that, make it so much fun that you build, you just establish moments that will make memories and mark that cannot be erased. And what that does, it makes you just want to, just push time and let time fly, so that you can meet each other and just have that moment of satisfaction physically with one another. So these are the things that you can do. But another thing also that you can understand, you see, a lot of men have this idea that, I know a story, this is a true story, that a woman and a man, they were, mating together. I mean, they've been, they were together before he left. Now, when he came back, they were with each other. All of a sudden, the first few days was okay. The woman was really gentle. And all of a sudden, the woman decides to bring some new fun into the whole entire thing. And the man was like, where did you get that from? Where did you learn that from? Type of attitude, like what? So the man was like, I've just been I've been trying to see a way to, please you when you come. You never did that before. So those are the kind of things that bring about insecurities in relationship. But you must give room for your partner to grow. You must give room for your partner to grow. Like I said in the past other sessions where we had, don't go looking for trouble by trying to search over your mate. Because if you are suspecting your mate, when there is no absolute reason for you to do so, you will find something, whether it is there or not. Because that suspicion will create something in your mind that when you are seeing something, and I know this for sure, there was a friend of mine, the sister came into the city, and the sister was staying in a hotel. Because she came by the Edo government. So now this man of God went to see the sister. After they had talked and everything, he came out. So the sister came and hugged him and then left. Then this individual now went and told the other fellow, oh, I saw your husband in a hotel. He was kissing a woman. And all of a sudden, the woman forgot that the sister of the husband was here, picked up the phone and called this man of God. Man of God, as a matter of fact. What are you doing in a hotel? I said, baby, what is wrong with you? I just went to see my sister. What's wrong? I told you I was going over there before I come to my office. So you see all those type of little things that when you are suspecting somebody, when there is nothing to suspect them about, you begin to look, you will find something, whether it's there or not. Therefore, give them room to grow. Give them room to grow. Give them enough space, because trust does not mean, trust is that somebody will not go out of their way to hurt you. But there are things a man or a woman can do. We all flirt. I'm a flirt. I flirt a lot. But sometimes it can be misconstrued to mean something else. Women love to be chased. Women love to be chased. And men also love to be chased. Therefore, a man is now, chasing after a woman, and she all, with, blushing and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't mean that just because she's blushing that somebody's liking her means that, she's going to just jump in the bed with that person. No, that's not it. So the one major thing that we must learn is to give each other room to grow. It is important.
I like that. Thank you so much. You're watching Real Talk, where we keep it real 100, okay? And of course, we have incredible personalities sharing their amazing wealth of knowledge. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, it will be time to wrap it all up. We're talking long time relationship or long distance relationship and how to sustain it. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. You're still watching Real Talk, where we keep it 100 when it comes to relationship goals. We bring you topics surrounding relationships, okay? And of course, we've got experts joining us from different part of the world, and to do justice to all the amazing topics we bring to share and to, so we can make informed decision in our relationship. Joining us from Toronto, Canada is none other than Sir George, and he's been doing really wonderful on the show. And of course, from Milan, Italy, is none other than legend Massive Mark, okay? And of course, I'm yours truly, Ambassador Nita. Let us take it home right now. When you talk about give your time, yourselves time to grow and all that, should you share your plans? And is it possible that you can just, take out some days out of that period that you're not going to be with your spouse to just surprise them? Is it okay to sustain a relationship? What's your thoughts concerning that, Massive Mac?
Yes. Also, let us take note of what kind of
Video is not.
relationship. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes, but
can.
Is it loud enough? Am I loud enough? Okay,
Yes.
sorry for that. What I'm saying is, first of all, let's place the relationship we're talking about. You could have a casual relationship, you could have a real married couple relationship, and you could have a couple that is still planning to be, and they all find themselves in this long distance thing. So it depends on which of them we are really putting together. But on a broader level, on a general level, yes, it's important to plan dates. As much as they are at distance, also planning a time to visit each other is important. It helps. Who is visiting who? Who can come over? Who can say come to the other? You know, it's important to have that in mind. Also, like we said earlier, um, be sincere and be confident about the relationship. You know, even if anything could be going wrong on the other end, still have that confidence in what you have together. And that's, I'm talking to the married couples now. Don't get like George just gave a story now. Don't assume, don't assume things. Don't just come up with stories. Don't think because so people did it when they were apart, then it's happening to you. It might not be happening to you. There are truthful men. There are men with pride and integrity that will be world apart from their partner and they still stay focused. Yes, there are men like that. And there are women too like that. So don't assume, don't make rash decisions, don't come to conclusion when you're not sure. And put it in your heart that listen, this world, whatever we do, we get paid for. I mean, even if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in anything, it's a natural phenomenon in life that if you do good, if you follow a relationship with your sincere self, your truthful self, you do your part, your little part to keep it working, it will come back to you. It will work for you. Even if this one don't work, something will play out eventually. So being confident about it, making sure your relationship, appreciating the relationship, and like I said earlier, appreciating the moment also you're apart. You know, it builds you up, makes you who you are. Yes, so these are my submission, Diva Anita.
Amazing. Amazing. You've spoken really well concerning how we can keep appreciating our spouses and all that. I would like Sir George to wrap it all up. Would like to know, because you are a relationship expert, and for instance, maybe battling with so much negativity as touching my spouse, and sometimes really there's no smoke without fire. When it comes to someone doubting if the other person is being faithful and stuff, something must have triggered that thought. Okay.
Mm.
Let's imagine these couples are married. Okay, they are married couple, and maybe the man is in the army, and they had a situation whereby there was cheating in between. And some time ago, they were like, okay, you know what? Let us just work it out, because it takes a whole lot of work to work out any form of relationship, whether long distance relationship or you live in the same kind of place relationship. Okay, having established that, you are still battling with the fact that this man or this lady once cheated, and then Call of Duty came in. Okay, you have this call that you need to respond to duty and stuff like that. While you're there, you want to still monitor, you want to still find out, is this person really sincere? Because once the trust is broken, once you've lost trust, it takes time for you to want to gain that trust back. Even sometimes you're telling yourself, you know what, this person might be sincere, but hey, the last time he lied, the last time she lied, so you have all those thoughts running through your mind. How can you help yourself to still work things out with your spouse and sustain that long distance relationship, irrespective of what you've had in the past, maybe cheating, infidelity, and the like?
Mm.
Listen to this. There are people that grew up, because what determines the way a person is from their parental upbringing, their peer group pressure, the kind of friends that you keep. The Bible tells us that evil communication can corrupt good habits. You might have grown up in a family where your father is always cheating on your mom, and your mom is always unhappy about that. And as a result of that, you grow up not trusting men. But not all men are like your father. But because you hated that thing so much, when it was happening, you can now, because of that negative meditation, by that hatred of your father cheating on your mom, you would end up, having what you call self-fulfilling prophecy. That the value system of the oppressor can quite naturally become that of the oppressed, because the oppressor's point of view is always fresh in the mind of the oppressed. So therefore, they think about it all the time and they begin to manifest it, though they hate it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So a lot of people don't understand it. And when you are hating such a thing and emotionalizing it, you are creating it to happen in your life. Now, all of a sudden, you find a fantastic man. He's not a talker. He's not somebody that talks a lot, but he is fantastic man. So he doesn't know how to explain things because, he trusts himself. He knows that, you are his ward. He goes out, he comes back a little late, and you say, baby, what's wrong? What? Or maybe he's supposed to be coming to visit you, and you come, he came about 30 minutes late. I said, there was a lot of traffic on the way. Now, all of a sudden, the bell rings in your mind. Daddy used to say that. And he's out there with somebody, frolicking in a hotel. And then all of a sudden, when mom was washing, his clothes, he saw lipstick on the collar of the shirt. So these things are things that can actually destroy a good relationship, even if it's a long distance relationship. So what it is that, I'm saying some people will say that one plus one will always be two. No, it's not true. In relationship, 1 plus 1 equals 1. But it's got to be full 1 and full 1 to make it 1. Because when you join to that person, you become 1. But how do you do that? There must be a level of confidence in that person will not go out of their way to hurt you. They might be the, let's not lie to ourselves. The way that you behave when you by yourself among men is not the way you behave when you are with your partner. And so it is with us men. That's the truth. We behave differently. A man who is a flirt will not like to flirt around the wife or the girlfriend. He will keep his skills, eyes, steady, because you don't want somebody slapping you on the head and say, but now, you can be the kind of individual who will see a woman that you like and your partner is there, say, oh, she's pretty, girl. You see those people that do that? They hardly cheat. But you see the ones that will see and put their eyes like this, like they're not looking, and then you're looking at the side of your eyes, and then they're looking the other way, like they didn't see what was going on. And then you say, oh, look at that girl. You go look at you like, who is that? Well, actually, the girl is right in front. Oh, is she all right? But if she's pretty, and your wife thinks she's pretty, she says, oh, she's pretty. Oh, yeah, she's fine, girl. I mean, you can say such, you can do it, because once you're doing that, you have nothing to hide. You're being open, but those people that hide a lot, these are the ones that are actually, and let me tell you something, the sign of a man who is always accusing the wife, or the sign of a woman always accusing the husband, check in the closet of that person that is always accusing the other. They're doing something wrong. A cheating husband will not allow the wife or the girlfriend to look elsewhere just by admiring. They instantly begin to think the way they are, because it's the man in the mirror. So those are the little signs that we need to make sure that we maintain. Be open with your girl. Be open with her. You see a girl that I saw a girl one time, I'm like, that's my spec. She looks just like you. And she's like, really? I said, of course, look at her. Tall, this, that. And then she was like, okay, all right. So for your wife to look on television and see a woman that she thinks you like and say, I think that's your spec, believe me, that relationship has gone real deep and is a trustworthy relationship. I am telling you. And can I say something else? Let me give you all an advice. There's this idea about you begin to imagine crazy things, and you begin to you begin to accuse the man. Oh, I can guarantee you, oh, it doesn't take you nothing to go get a hotel room, and then maybe 2 hours and you come back over here as if nothing happened. These are the things that is in your mind. Maybe the man never thought about that, and you are actually injecting ideas into the man's life. The man might not even be thinking about it, and then you start thinking, putting ideas into their mind. Oh, I can tell you, I know you can actually, I know you can do this. Maybe lunchtime you go and get you a quickie with your girl. The man never thought of it. You were the one putting ideas into their head, and when you begin to suspect somebody, I guarantee you are creating that thing to happen in your life. So
absolutely.
That's what it is.
Action.
Exactly. So the best thing is, if you cannot control what she does when she's away, just trust her, because you can't. And let me tell you something, it's easier to find out a man is cheating than to find a woman cheating, because women are so meticulous. They are so sharp in their ways that it's so difficult for you to find out.
Oh, wow.
You can never find out about a woman cheating. You must get to know your woman. Know her ways, know her emotions, know when she communicates with you. Because when something starts missing, you can pick it up. You can pick it up. That's it. Study her. And you, woman, study your man.
You've spoken so brilliantly. I mean, it has been a fantastic show. And our take home today from, the topic, how to sustain a long distance relationship on the Real Talk show, is the fact that you need to communicate. Find time within your busy schedule to communicate with your spouse, gain trust, okay? Work on yourselves. Give time to appreciate one another. Give time to grow. That was from Massive Mac. And lastly, Do not put in negativity. Do not assume what is not, okay? So you create imaginary stories, and at the end of the day, you attract it. Because when I talk about the law of attraction, what your thoughts are thinking, before you know it, you get to see them. When you think about buying a car, before you know it, you start seeing adverts on cars, okay? When you think about getting married, the next thing, you would just go out, you want to have coffee, everybody want to, woo you. So that's what's up when it comes to the law of attraction. So why don't you just spend time and tell yourself, my relationship is going to be fruitful, my relationship, irrespective of the distance, we love each other and we're going to make it work. And when we're talking about long distance relationship, of course, we're not just talking about a casual thing. We're talking about a well-defined and refined relationship, a relationship that's gone through thick and thin. Okay, maybe you're married or you're about to marry. You have a future together. That's the relationship we've talked about so far. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.